Good evening. How is everybody doing? So I'm going to kill my volume on this. Hold on one second so that doesn't go off in the middle of the stream. So here we are. It is Sunday. I hope everybody's doing really, really well. So I got it. We got to straighten out a couple things first, okay? Before we get into the video, let me do this first. Let me just go over the normal stuff first. First of all, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you. I got to fix this light. Hold on. That's a little bit better, a little brighter. Um, I got to remind everybody this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. And so, if you can abide by those easy, simple rules, we'll have a great conversation. If you cannot, then those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here. It's as simple as that. We're not playing games. I'm not going to feed into that nonsense. And so there we are. So, want to say that first. So, now, okay, I've been reading the comments on the whole thing with the delivery of the stone. I gotta fix. Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a tad disorganized here. I just got to be able to adjust this chair. All right. So, got to break down how it went. All right. So I got down there to West Virginia on the Thursday, and I had the one company was delivering me stone on the Friday, which came on the Friday. All right. Now, that was fine. Um, I had called this other company on that Thursday, and I had said to them, "Can you bring the stone on Friday?" They said, "No, we can't bring the stone on Friday, but we can bring the stone in on Monday." I said, "Fine, that'll work." So I was going to have 2 loads of stone brought in. Okay. Now, because I was having that stone brought in, I decided, well, we're going to keep the Bobcat for an extra day. Now, I'm going to tell you what. So I'll explain this where my thinking isn't. You tell me if I'm wrong, okay? So when with renting the Bobcat is $300 a day. So I got the Bobcat on the Friday, but I get a weekend rate because we got it late afternoon Friday. So I get charged one day. So I get it all weekend, but just get charged for the Friday. Then I'm like, okay, so I get they charge you a pickup fee or drop off fee, which is like $140 to drop the thing off, and then it's another $140 to pick it back up. So that's how it goes. It's $300 a day to have the Bobcat there, and then you have to, of course, refill it with the diesel because it runs on diesel. So if you don't send it back with a full tank, then they'll charge you to fill it up, right? So I said, okay, so I got this stone coming on Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep the Bobcat for an extra day. So we get up Monday morning, and there was other things that we could use the Bobcat for, which was exactly what we were doing on that Monday. So we're waiting for the stone delivery. So I call at noon to the company, and I said, hey, what time is my stone coming today? I had ordered stone. You guys said you would be delivering it Monday. Very nice. I wasn't being a jerk in any way, shape, or form. Uh, what time will it be here? And he says, well, the driver will get a hold of you to get directions to come to your property. I said, okay. So the driver called me at 3 minutes to 4. Now I got to tell you the conversation here, okay? Um, Hey, Yinzer Prepper. If you need help at your homesteads, please let me know. I'm only a few hours at Max away in Southwest Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. Shoot me an email. Give me your phone number. I'll give you a holler. Okay. And thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for saying that. I do appreciate that. So the driver calls me at 3 minutes to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So 4 hours after I had called the company at noon, I finally get a call from the driver, and he goes, well, what stone are you looking for? And I said, I'm looking for, and I guess that down there, I'm looking for 1 inch stone. He says, down there they call it 57. He goes, oh, I'll have to drive all the way over to such and such place to get that stone. So he didn't even have the stone loaded on the truck when he called me. And I was like, listen, nothing against you. I go, it is not your fault. I go, but this is ridiculous that it's now 4 in the afternoon and you're just calling me now. And then you got to figure he's got to drive all the way to such and I didn't even know where he was saying he had to go. He had to drive there to get the stone before he could even deliver the first load. So was he going to deliver the second load in the dark? You know what I mean? So I said, listen, you know what? I said, no, I'm canceling the order. I'm not doing it. Now I didn't have to put no money up front. When they deliver the stone, you pay when they deliver. That's how it works. And so I was just like, I was so done. I was so pissed off. You have no idea. Now, I got all the comments. Oh, well, you're a Yankee and you're used to things being done yesterday and all this other nonsense. Okay. No, business is business, folks. All right. Business is business. When you have a customer that you talked to the previous Thursday and you make a statement that, yes, we will deliver that stone on Monday, uh, and then I even call at noon on that day, and I don't even hear from the driver until 4 in the afternoon, and then he doesn't even have the stone on board. Now, had he had the stone on board, I would have said, yes, bring it. But he didn't. He didn't even have the stone with him at that point. And I was like, nope, we're done. So people are talking about burning bridges. All right. So the people that I bought the property from live in front. So I talked to them, and they were like, oh, yeah, don't use that company. They says, we know a guy, local guy, he does it, it'll be cheaper for you. He goes, we'll get his name and number, so the next time you come down you have him bring you the stone. So again, it's not like I'm like some uppity Yankee going down there, uh, being a jerk and pushing my way around expecting favors or preferential treatment. Not at all. Business is business. When you make a commitment, you follow through on that commitment. That's how it works. Okay. But but yeah, it just I just sorry, you know what? You don't follow through on your commitment. I owe you nothing. So, and that company, just let me just put this out here as well, is from a town that is more than half an hour away. Okay, more than half an hour away. Well, probably like 40 minutes away. So it wasn't like it was a local yokel and everybody's related to each other. It wasn't one of those kind of deals. Now I get it. Let me just be clear on this so you guys don't hammer me in the comments on this. I get it. The South is slower pace and they kind of go at their own pace. I get it. And I know that I'm used to that New York kind of pace where it's bang, bang, bang. All right. I get it. And I understand that. That's always my mindset. Let's go. Let's get it done. Boom, boom, boom. But when you make commitments, you need to follow through on your commitments. If I tell you, listen, I'll be at your place at 5 o'clock, I'm probably going to be at your place at 10 minutes to 5. That's how I work. Okay. So, um, you know, and somebody just said, I don't consider West Virginia the South. It is what it is. To me, like I said, I will not use that company again. They just lost any kind of future business that they could have had. I was going to buy 2 loads of stone off of them. And so somebody was like, well, how do you expect somebody's going to drive that back there into that, into on those roads? Well, the first guy drove his truck all the way back in there when he brought 15 tons. So I don't see the difference of somebody else bringing in 7 more ton back there. I don't see that being a big deal. So there we go. But just wanted to clarify that it wasn't me with my Yankee attitude and we're on a rush pace and it's slower in the South and people are more laid back. And that's fine. People can be more laid back. I have no problem with you being more laid back. But I will tell you this. Moving forward, I'm going to, if I'm going to order stone, I'm going to say, what time will you be here? That's it. I want a commitment and I want them there at that time. That's how it's going to be moving forward. So why didn't I stay with the first company? JJ, good question. So the first company, they could bring in 15 tons on their truck. You're getting charged, by the ton. The other companies could deliver 22 tons of stone. And that's why I decided to go with the other company because they could bring me more in one load. So that, it's almost an extra load. It's almost like bringing in 3 loads of the first company instead of 2. So that's why I did it that way. But, But yeah, that's so I wanted to clarify that to start with. You know, it is crazy. Somebody else is saying no, West Virginia is not the South. Well, like I said, be it the South or not, let's put it like this: it's south of me. How's that sound? Does that work for anybody? Pennsylvania is south of me, so there we are. But Mason-Dixon line, north-south border, West Virginia is below the Mason-Dixon line. So now you guys are going to argue if it's the South or not the South. Realistically, at the end of the day, guys, who cares? Some of you may think it's the South. Some of you may not think of it as the South. Okay, but I get it when you get into areas where everybody is kind of more laid back. I get it, and I know that us New Yorkers, we're go 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 go. When I'll tell you a quick story. When I moved to North Carolina, and I went and got a job, and they said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." I was hired like that. You know why? Because we're workers. And they know we're workers. They know we don't screw around. I actually had people tell me, "Man, dude, slow down." Seriously, that's how it works. So you're making the rest of us look bad. Slow down. But that's how it goes. So, but anyway, so there. That I just wanted to clarify that. I wasn't trying to burn no bridges. It wasn't a local. And I get it. And I understand the whole local mindset. I do. You don't want obviously you don't want to burn those bridges. And I've had people say, um, oh, you're an outsider and you have problems. Like somebody was saying that like within 15 miles of where I live here that they had problems. I never had any problems here. When I moved down here, I got to know my neighbors and I integrated myself into the community, and we've been here 7 years. Now I'm going to tell you right now, where I live now compared to where I lived outside of Rochester, New York, in suburbia in Greece, New York, it's night and day. It is way more laid back where I'm at right now with my homestead up here in New York. Way more laid back. It's a whole different mindset from that city mindset and suburbia mindset. Completely night and day. So I get it. I totally get it. So anyway, what are we at? 572 in the chat already, guys. We got 199 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing so. I do appreciate it. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. And I thank you for that reason as well. The third thing is I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So that's part of the game, of course. Also, um, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Why did you decide on West Virginia? All right, we'll answer that real quick. And we're going to get into the topic, I promise you guys. We will definitely do that. But I want to make sure I answer some questions too. I decided on West Virginia because of high elevation, number one. Number two, sparsely populated. It's not a huge population state. There's not going to be a ton of people. Even what they consider bigger towns, if you will, are not really bigger towns in what I'm used to as a bigger town. So that's cool as well. I like that. I like that it's a very down home atmosphere. I like it that once you are integrated into a community, that they accept you, and they do. Even if you're from New York or wherever you're from, as long as you don't act like a jerk. And that's honestly, honest to God, guys, that's the key. If I go down there, and so somebody, when they were talking in the comments and they were saying, well, I bought this property and I put up posted signs and people were driving four-wheelers all over it and they were doing this, that, and the other, and they were hunting on it. uh, you know People have been doing something for a long time. They don't like change. They don't. So what ends up happening is, you're the outsider coming in. So if you're causing problems with people, it happens. Now I get it. If it's your property, you don't want people hunting on it. You shouldn't have to have people hunting on it. But it is just like I said. That's something that you got to deal with wherever you're going to go. Like I had spoke with my neighbor down in West Virginia there that owns the property on the one side of me, and I think I may have mentioned this to you guys. I may not have. And he had told me. He said, "Well, listen." He said, "If I see any, they live there, so they have their house on top. They have a little camp down at the bottom where they go down and hang out and do fires and stuff like that." He said, if I see anybody on your property, I'll make sure I run them off. He goes, because, if somebody's not supposed to be there, I'll definitely make sure I run them off. Now, does that sound like somebody being a jerk and somebody that, oh, it's freaking Yankees moving down here? And he had the big Southern accent. He had the West Virginia accent. But guess what? I went up there like a man. I introduced myself. We talked for a while, offered me a beer. I drank a beer with him. So, it's just, it's how you act too goes a long way to how you're going to be treated. And that's all I'm going to say. And I'm not saying that the person that wrote me and told me that story, uh, acted like a jerk. I'm not saying that, but it goes a long way of how you act and how you're presented and stuff like that. So, and the only thing north of you is the Arctic Circle. Hey, Canada's up there. Come on, we can't be dissing our Canadian brothers and sisters. That's funny though. I like that. I like that, Mark. That's very funny. Yeah, it's I got it. So today I said to Heather, I go, it's a little chilly in here. I think our high temperature was like 61 today. Actually, I'll tell you what it is right now. Let me take a look at this. I will tell you where we're at right now. No, I was saying it's 57 right now. That's where we're at right now. We're 57. So a little chilly in the house. So we started a fire today. I'm like, hey, I don't care. Um, you know. So anyway, that's yeah. So it's just want to clarify things with people, so you guys know exactly where I'm coming from and what was going on. And someone is asking about my shirt. What about my shirt? Some people are just racist against Yankees, the trolls, not your neighbors. Yeah, it's just you're always going to find people that are going to not like you for whatever reason. I mean, look it on here. You know what I mean? Come on. Some people like me, some people don't. Do you support the Hell's Angels? Preppers asking. This shirt was given to me by a friend of mine, and it is, yes, it is a support shirt for the Hell's Angels. I like the shirt, so I wear the shirt. Um, I have no problem with any motorcycle club. Don't matter who they are. Um, and that's kind of where I party with a bunch of them. I ride motorcycles, guys. Uh, you know, I'm not part of any club myself. Never have been. Never plan on being any part of any motorcycle club. Not my thing. I don't need a group of people, to do that. I'm not going to have somebody dictate to me when I can do something, when I can't do something. That's just the way that goes. So I like the shirt. My friend of mine gave me two of them, and this is one of them. And yeah, it's a Hell's Angel support shirt. Oh my God! Ah, relax. It's a shirt. So anyway, but anyway, you know what? With any group of people, there's going to be good people in it. There's going to be bad people in it. That's just the way it is. So, and Hell's Angels have been around for a long, long time. And yeah, you know what? They're not a mom and pop club. They never have tried to be a mom and pop club, but they do a lot of good things. And I realize they do a lot of bad things too. But you know what? My thing is always this, always been this. If you're respectful to anybody, they're going to be respectful to you. If I went in and started acting like a jerk, you're going to get your head stomped in. That's how it goes. So you have to act accordingly to where you are. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So yeah, so I hope that straightens that out. I get crap for wearing mine in Florida. Well, Florida is warlock territory, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. See, where I'm at here in New York, this is Hell's Angels territory. They have a clubhouse right in Rochester. So, but yeah, like I said, they're like anybody else, guys. If you're cool with them, they're going to be cool with you. We cross them, you're going to have a whole bunch of them stomping a mud hole in your behind. That's just kind of how it goes. But like I said, I love to ride. When I went out, I and I kind of talked about, and we're going to get into things, I promise. But um, when I went out to South Dakota with my buddy Randy, he rides for the U.S. military vets, and they had been trying to have me come into doing that with them. Well, after what I saw out there and the way that they acted, and in the way that they acted with him, I'm like, no way. I ride. Let me just be clear on this. I ride when I want to ride. I go where I want to go. I don't answer to nobody when it comes to we're doing this right and you have to be here. I don't have to be anywhere. So that's kind of how I like to be. So if I feel like doing something, I'm going to do it. If I don't feel like doing something, I'm not going to do it. So that's what I like. We have a lot of Sons of Silence in our area, Kansas. Yeah, it's different parts, it's different ones. So JJ said it's okay. I probably wear my bowling shirt out in public. See, I will be honest with you guys, and maybe it's because of the way that I look and my size and whatever the case may be. Whatever I go, wherever I go, whatever I wear, I never get issues with anybody. I never get issues with anybody. So people don't bother me. But I don't bother anybody else either. You know what I mean? I'm not like walking through and acting like I said, you just don't act like a jerk. But you also tell that to a pagan. Well, there's all kinds of groups, guys. All kinds of groups, and they're always and actually, you know what the sad part is? If the 1% motorcycle community actually banded together and worked together, boy, that'd be a scary thing now, wouldn't it? Now, think about how organized they would be then. And yeah, I like what Brian Keith just said. I'd trust a biker group over the government any day. You got that right, brother. I'm the same way. You know why? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put this out here real quick, and I will tell you. And this is true story. I can go into the most upscale establishment, and I can get dressed up, and I can fit in there. I know how to act. Okay. I can also go to the lowest dive bar scumbag place in the world, and I can go in there and I know how to act and I know how to carry myself and I know, and I'm not going to have any trouble there either. Who would I rather hang out with? I would rather personally hang out with the low life bar people in that bar than the upscale hoity toities. And I'm going to tell you why. Those people over there are real. They're not phony. They're not pretentious. They don't think they're better than anybody else. They are just who they are. Here I am. If you like me, great. If you don't like me, they don't care. That's why I like those people. Those pretentious, uppity, stuck up, think that they're better than everybody else, think that their crap doesn't stink. I don't like those people. I don't. But that's just how I roll, and that's just me. So, like I said, I can't be more clear through the years. If anybody's been watching me for a long time, with me, what you see is what you get. And yes, some Joan T said me too, and I don't like to dress up well. I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. I've always been a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. I had somebody actually made the comment, "You don't ever wear shorts in the summertime?" Generally not. I generally always wear pants because I'm generally working outside doing something where my legs would get torn up with the briars and everything else. So I just always wear pants. Very very rarely will you ever. I don't even think right now. I don't even think I own a pair of shorts. So I may. There might be a pair of shorts someplace, but I can tell you honestly, I can't remember the last time I wore a pair of shorts. All right, so I wanted to talk on a couple things. Hey, Mountain Kiker, how you doing tonight? Years ago, uh, Hell's Angel family camp next to me invited me over for their son's birthday. They were cool. Exactly. And you know what? The reputation. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. Um, it's you treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't matter. It's like because I ride a motorcycle, I see the looks that I get, and I laugh. I absolutely laugh because they think, "Oh my God, crazy biker person," but they don't realize that I'd be the first one off to help anybody in need. Anybody that needed help, I'd be the first one to help them. So it's just people have preconceived notions, and that's just how it goes. So, but how's those Cannon legs doing? What's funny? My legs never bothered me at all. With all the walking and stuff like that I did in West Virginia, my legs never bothered me, not 1 second. I was sucking some wind. I'm not going to lie, but I will tell you this: with being in West Virginia and doing that hiking and walking, which I plan on every time I'm down there, I plan on walking those hills, checking out different things. There's a lot of the property that I got to see yet, and I'm going to do more of that. And it's going to do nothing but help me get in better shape. It's just going to help me get in better shape. A Harley isn't cheap. No, they're not. They are an expensive toy. And I got to tell you, I love my bike. Absolutely love my bike. How much weight did I lose? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not. You know what? It's funny because somebody else made the comment: muscle weighs more than fat, and as you add more muscle, muscle is heavier than fat. So, I felt better. I will say that. I'm not sure if how much weight I lost, but I definitely felt better. And it was good exercise, and we were busy. We got a lot of stuff done, which was great. So, but anyway, so couple things I want to talk about. Oh my God, this is so funny. So let's think about this. Let's think about this, right? Welcome everybody to America, right? Come on, come across the southern border. Oh, wait a minute. Not you Haitians. If you're from Haiti, no, not you. You can't come here. They're deported. So we get all these people running across our border all the time, all the time. But what did we do? What did Biden do with the Haitians? He deported them all. Why? We let everybody else in. What's wrong with some Haitians? I I don't get the logic, the justification by our government. Unbelievable, unbelievable. It's just people are an absolute trip. The justification of why it's okay to do this, why it's not okay to do that, it just makes me it makes me laugh, to be honest with you. M. Hammer said Haitians need to go to countries close to them. Do you know how many people fly to South America and come up to our southern border from Europe, from Asia, from all types of Middle Eastern countries? Do you know how many people do that? It is unbelievable the number of people that do that. But yet we're letting all those come rolling in here, and that's perfectly fine. But we're going to kick the Haitians out. Uh, Only 1,100 were deported. The other 29,000 were released. Destiny Storm. Okay, so why were the 1,100 deported then? If it's only 1,100, why were they deported? First of all, and I'm going to say, guys, and I've said this before, and I've said it, and I'll say it again and again and again. We need to stop. We need to close the borders. We need to close them. If what supposedly is going on, right? We don't. I'm not going to mention it, but we all know what I'm talking about. This horrible thing that's happening in our country. Why is our borders wide open? Why are we having all these people come in here? And here's another thing: when they talk about, oh my God, we've now had outbreaks of smallpox and other things going on. It makes me wonder, who is this core of those people that are getting those things? Who are the core of those people getting those things? I wonder, could it be unvaccinated people from other countries coming in here that we open a door and ship them all over the country? Maybe to a neighborhood near you, right? Imagine that. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It just, if we're really in what they are saying we're in, then we need to shut the borders down. We need to stop people from coming in and take care of our issues that we have here at home. I want you to think about this as well, guys. I want you to think about this. We have no money to take care of all these different people in the United States that we need to be taken care of. We need to be taking care of our addiction problem that we have in this country for drug addiction. And I'm not talking about sending them to rehab. I'm talking about figuring out the root cause of the problems, proper counseling, proper treatment, taking care of that. We don't have money for that. We don't have money to help veterans that are out on the streets, living in cardboard boxes and sleeping on the streets. We don't have money for that. But we're going to have the money to give away $500 million. Or what? How much? No, maybe I'm trying to think. I think it was 500 million. If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But we're going to be giving 500 million doses to go to poor countries. We're doing that. That's what Biden has pledged. Didn't he just pledge that? Am I wrong on that? If I'm wrong, please, please correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I believe that was the number. I could be wrong. 500 million is correct. Okay. Yep. Okay. I thought it was 500 million. So we're going to give away 500 million doses to other countries, but we can't take care of our own people in this country. Tell me what's wrong with that. What's wrong with that? We don't have the things to take care of the people here. We have. I want you guys to think about this. Every single day, every single day, there are children that don't have enough food to eat in this country. Not even just talking adults. There's plenty of adults that don't have enough food either. But there are children going to bed hungry every night in this country. And that's not right. That's not right. We need to take care of our own. We got to stop taking care of everybody else. We need to take care of our own. And if things are so bad around the world, then we need to shut down the borders. We need to take care of our business, and that's it. So you speak of a drug problem, but many of the drugs we have to go to the doctors are on the same meds over the counter. Think about that. I have talked about this before with the drug epidemic of this country. We take what I think it was of all the drugs, and I want you to think about this. Of all the drugs that are produced in the world, I think we take 78%. That's the United States. When we make up what 5%, 6% of the world population, but we use 78% of all the drugs that are produced, and a lot of that by doctors because they got pharmaceutical companies coming in there and say, hey, if you push this or this, we'll give you this vacation or that, and they because they're making money. They're all making money. So kind of sad, realistically. But yeah, it's just it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Our best days are behind us. America is screwed. You know what? I think we could. Hard to say. I definitely think is a dominant world power. Our days are behind us. Hey, Pamela Sherry, there are over 200,000 missing children. Where are the children? Yeah, that's another thing. Let's think about that. Thank you, Pamela Sherry, for pointing that out too. And thank you so much for the donation as well. Yeah, let's talk about all the missing children, missing, gone. You know, a lot of child trafficking going on, folks. A lot of child trafficking going on. A lot of them coming up from the southern borders. You know, no children that won't be missed. What happens to all those kids? Scary to think about. You know, it's one of the reasons people might have said I was more of a helicopter parent, but I tell you what, I knew where my kids were at all times. I wasn't; they were not out of my sight. They were very, very, protected just because of the way that the world is. So, scary thing. But really quickly, while I'm thinking about it, I want to mention this really quick. On my website, preparedness1.com, I have the sale going on, which is going to be over. Let's see, today's the 26th, 4 more days. 30th will be the last day of the sale for the legacy freeze-dried foods. As of the 1st of October, the prices of all the legacy freeze-dried foods is going up. So I would encourage you to go in now and take advantage of that. I'm also doing a 20% off sale, so you're getting a double savings. So not only are you going to save yourself 20% off your purchase, but it's just before the prices increase as well. So definitely go and check that out. Preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it will drop down. It says Legacy Foods. Also, it says, like I said, if once you go in there, when you make a purchase, when you check out, 20% will come off automatically at checkout. So definitely take advantage of that. I got to tell you a story. You're going to love this one too. So somebody writes me and said, Ed, I was trying to buy eggs on your website and it wouldn't give me the discount. And I said, well, replied back and I said, the discount, it comes off automatically when you check out. So they write me back again and said, I went through the whole process and, it didn't give me the discount again. And I said, well, that's funny because right now eggs are out of stock on my website. So you can't order eggs on my website because they're out of stock. So, somebody trying to BS me. So I haven't heard back yet. I'm waiting to hear back. So anyway, GMO free, 25-year shelf life, the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies. It is vegetarian. There are beef and chicken options that you can buy separately. There's also gluten options for people that need that as well. And so there we are. But so definitely take advantage of that. Like I said, again, the sale is up in 4 days, and the prices will increase as of the 1st of October. So just putting that out there for you guys. We also have the Forefathers, which is a CBD and hemp store. And Yeah, how much for eggs? That's right. CBD and Hemp Store also on there. If you click on their logo, it will take you to their website. When you're on their website, if you make a purchase over there, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1 on their website. You will save yourself 15% over there. So definitely take advantage of that as well. We also have the Prepper Nurse One community on my website, which is absolutely free to join. It's a great resource for you guys to connect with like minded people. You do have to register because it is private, but no credit card information is asked. So it's free to join. Definitely take advantage if you're trying to connect with like minded people. So there we go. All that is out of the way, and I wanted to mention it just so I can say that I did and it's done. So anyway, La Palma is going off. It is getting stronger. The volcanic activity is increasing. They said another vent opened up. So again, who knows? What's going to happen with that? It's obviously worth paying attention to. There are so many variables right now, guys, of so many different things that could possibly happen. We're gonna do a little laundry list really quickly, right? Government shutdown's a possibility unless they raise the debt ceiling once again, which just pushes us further into debt. Now, again, I would ask, how are we able to give away 500 million vaccines at whatever cost? Because Big Pharma isn't giving them away for free. Let's remember that. Big Pharma is getting paid. Remember that. Big Pharma is always getting paid. All right. Because they're not doing it for free. But we're going to give away 500 million doses for free to other poor countries, but we're going to increase our debt and put ourselves further into hole. At some point, that is going to reach a tipping point, and it's not going to happen anymore. The dollar has already been devalued quite substantially because they just keep printing more money, which devalues it. Okay, that's not a good thing. So at some point, do I see an economic collapse in our future? Absolutely, I see an economic collapse in our future. Absolutely, there is. It's unsustainable what is happening right now. Forget about London bridges falling down. When La Palma blows its lid, surfs up maybe soon. Okay, so yeah, exactly, Asif. Thank you very much for the statement. Thank you for the donation as well. And he's right. You know what? They can say whatever they want to say, but if that thing really takes off, now, am I saying it's going to? I am not saying it's going to. Is there a possibility that it can? Absolutely, yes, it can. That is not a if situation, that is a when situation. Maybe not this volcanic activity that's happening right now, but it might be. It might be 50 years from now when it decides to go again. Who knows? You know, but I love these comments. La Palma is fine. It isn't going to create a tsunami. Well, thank you, Professor. My God, I didn't know we had a professor in the house with all the answers. Let me give you credit. What's your name here? Hold on a second. Uh, Daimyo. There we go. We got a professor in the house that knows all the answers. Thank God. What would we do without these people that know everything? I think it's wonderful that they come in here and share their wisdom. Wow, everything's fine, nothing to worry about. Well, that's great. Oh my God. Would you I would love to hear, Professor, your insight on our economic situation in the United States as well. What do you think of that? I'm waiting for answers for that. Because if we got a professor in the house, guys, we got to pay attention to what they have to say. I, I love people that say that. You don't know. You're just like me. You don't know. You can show that comment. We don't have to hide that. It says, don't be a dick. I'm not being a dick. I'm being honest. You don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. I am not saying, I am not saying this is definitely going to happen. Or I'm not saying this definitely will never happen. What I'm saying is there is a chance. If there's a chance of something happening, you need to keep an eye on it. That's where I'm at, guys. That's where I'm at. So when I have people when I have people that say, "Oh, this is never going to happen," or "That's never going to happen," you don't know. I didn't realize. Well, first of all, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe some of these people can see into the future. I failed that class. I really, really tried hard. I did fail that class though. Mind reading, seeing into the future. Yeah, I didn't do well. Didn't do well. Wish I did. I tried. Ed, are you still mad about the gravel? More disappointed, Randy Romines. More disappointed. I would have liked to have gotten it down there. I would have liked to have gotten it down. You know, so that's and thank you. I like Brian Keith Prepper. He said if Ed wants to be a D or whatever, it's his freaking channel. He can be whatever he wants. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do like to use a lot of sarcasm. I will say that because I think that that's funny. When you have people say, this is never going to happen. There's nothing to worry about. You're fear mongering. How am I fear mongering to say this is a possibility? Is there a possibility we could have food shortages? Absolutely, yes, we could have food shortages perpetuated by the government making farmers plow under their crops. How's that work? How's that right? How's that help anybody, right? That don't help anybody. How is it a possibility that we're going to have more forest fires? That's a pretty good possibility that and actually they're continuing to happen right now out west. They haven't stopped. It's not like all of a sudden, oh, now it's over. Sorry, no, nothing to pay attention to here. Let's move on to the next topic. Don't work like that. It's still happening. So those are things we need to pay attention to. Will there be more flooding? So if I say, hey guys, be careful, there could be flooding happening here, that's a reality. There will be flooding someplace. We'll have storms come in. We're going to have hurricanes come in. We're going to have tornadoes in certain parts of the countries that are going to touch down. We even get them up here occasionally. So those things are realistic expectations that can happen. That's why we prep. That's why we prep. We prep because of the unknown, because we're not sure. We're hedging our bets. It's like life insurance. I mean, that's what it's. You have car insurance not because you say, well, I'm getting car insurance because I plan on getting in a car accident in about 3 weeks and I'm going to be out of work for a long time and I got to have that workman's comp and all those type of things. I need to have those things because I plan on having this car accident. Nobody plans on having a car accident, but you have insurance in case you do so that you can cover your cost and it protects you. That's why you have car insurance. Plus the fact that the automobile industry and the insurance industry made it so it's a regulation that you have to have insurance because if you drive without insurance, you'll get in trouble, even though people still do it anyway. But anyway, so, you know, being prepared is about peace of mind. I sit here every night and I put my head down and I go, well, with whatever happens, I know that I'm more prepared than the average bear. And any of us should be looking for an edge. Any of us. And that's why we do what we do. So that's why we do what we do. We do it because we need to be ready. If something happens, then we can act while other people are reacting. And that's how it comes down to the bottom line. Bottom line, you know. Flat Earth Society has members around the world. Check out their Facebook page. Yeah, I'm sorry, but those people are absolutely delusional. I don't understand any of that. I don't get that. When we look up at the sky, and like the moon is a big circle, right? That's up there. We look at the other planets. We look at the sun. They're circles, but we're flat. It doesn't just make any kind of sense. But hey, they can think whatever they want. Whatever they want to think, they can think. I, you know, it takes all kinds to make the world go round, which is the beauty of it. You know, my husband just got fired after 21 years of service to the state of California because he refused to jab. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad your husband took the stand. That was another thing I was going to talk about really quickly. So they're saying, and I want you to think, let's put it into perspective, okay? So a lot of these hospitals, especially like New York City, that's mandating that it's New York State is actually doing it for the whole state. They're mandating that all nursing home and hospitals that everybody that works there gets the jab. Okay. Well, you're having a lot of people say, no, I'm not going to do that. What do you think of the Brian Lowry mess? Yes, I'll talk about that in a second, Mount Kayaker, because I think that's a horrible situation as well. So, but anyway, with that, they're saying that they're bringing in the National Guard, and the National Guard is filling the roles in hospitals and stuff like that. They can't do that long term. They can't do that long term. That's not going to work. You know what I mean? And there's only, and I'm going to tell you guys, there's only so many nurses out there. Only so many nurses out there. And when you're firing people that have been doing the job forever and a day, and it's not just nurses, guys, it's respiratory techs, it is your x-ray technicians, it is everybody that makes that hospital run smoothly, from your maintenance staff all the way along. So it's not just your nurses. So, if you're going to make people go in and do all that type of stuff, you know, you're going to see people getting out of the National Guard because they don't want to go and be the janitor at the local hospital for the next year. So it is. We are all getting denied exemptions. Well, it's like I said, it's part of the game. They're trying to force people, is what they're doing, and so you need to stand. Yeah, and the burnout rate is very, very high in nursing. So you're isolating people that have been doing this and have been taking care of people all along, and now all of a sudden you're saying that they can't and they're going to get fired. That's totally ridiculous. I do not believe you can be nice. No, you can't be. If you got fired, they have to give you unemployment. They fired you, so that is their choice. RN for 25 years fought tooth and nail against COVID all last year, and now, as of tomorrow, unemployed because I refused the jab. And that's nuts, PKR. That's absolutely nuts, and that should not be that way. And again, I'm always going to say this: individual choices. You can do whatever you want to do, but I personally think it's wrong that people should be fired because they don't want something put in their body, whatever it is, whatever it is. So no, it's not. If they're getting fired, they're getting fired, so they can't call it voluntary. So they would have to pay him unemployment. They can say whatever they want, but everything. I'm telling you right now, guys, we are headed for a collapse in this country. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, we're like way off on the egg count here, guys. I apologize. Let's go ahead and do that really quickly. I know, I usually do it when I hit 45 and it's 47. All right, so let's do that. Before we do any, I'm going to ask for another thumbs up really quickly. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate it. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. It pushes us up higher in the rankings. And so thank you for doing that as well. I also like to see a lot of thumbs up, which is part of the game, of course. So thank you for that reason as well. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. If you like the sarcasm, I have plenty more coming down the road. So thank you very much for that reason as well. So anyway, so let's see what we got here. All right, we're going to go with JA because that's the first one I see when I looked at it, and JA keeps putting up the same number over and over and over again. If you said 8 eggs like JA, then you are 100% correct today. 100% correct. So. But so good day egg-wise from the birds. I don't believe thick neck laid today. She is in the middle of right now heavy molting. So she's got all kinds of new feathers coming in. So that I don't think she'll be laying for a little bit. And so I think she hasn't laid in like 3 days. But she does have a tremendous amount of new feathers coming in. A lot of the girls do. A lot of my white girls have new feathers coming in. The babies didn't need to worry about it because they look nice and plump and they got all their feathers and they look good. So they're laying. We're getting a lot of eggs that way, and some of my other girls are laying as well. But, okay, so I want to talk about, because Mountain Kiker had asked about the situation with that kid obviously killing his girlfriend out west, going back to Florida. I think his parents are protecting him. They know exactly where he's at, and I know the government probably feels the same exact way. He came back, lawyered up, and all of a sudden then he disappeared. He went for a walk in that reserve. I don't think he went for a walk in that reserve at all. He's hiding out someplace, and his parents are helping him. And I'm going to tell you right now, and you may say, oh my God, I can't believe you would say this. If Heather If Heather came home and said, Dad, I like snapped and I killed this person, I'm helping my daughter. Sorry, I'm helping my daughter. As a parent, if you love your child, you're not turning them over because you know what's coming. If you have any kind of indication, if you have any kind of idea what would happen, you're not turning them over. You're going to help them, and that's not right. You know. Yeah, I heard the dog the bounty hunter. Yeah, that is so. That's nothing but propaganda. Dog the bounty hunter. It's don't even get me started on that guy. Oh my god. Can he wait till he gets a wife cold in the ground before he jumps in bed with the next one? How about that? Or is that too harsh? Is that too harsh? Just dog the bounty hunter. What's he gonna do? He's good for sensationalism on TV, but at least if he's in Florida, he can work on his tan, right? So there you go. His own family's a mess. What does that tell you? So, oh well. Yeah. Like I said, get me on my soapbox, folks. you know, Pretty harsh. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll put it like this. All right. When my ex and I went our separate ways, we were together for 11 years, and she didn't die. We're not together anymore, and it's been 10 years. I didn't date for 2 years. I couldn't date for 2 years. I didn't want to be out with anybody. So I don't understand the mindset of your wife or your loved one dies, or your husband or whoever it may be dies, and 6 months later you're in this like relationship, or even a couple months later in a relationship again with somebody else. I don't get that. I just don't get that. So that's just that's my thing. And he's not the only one. There's other people that I know that have done the same thing, and I don't get that. You have a long-term marriage with somebody and they die, and then month 2 month later you're jumping in bed with somebody else. Sorry, I don't know. That's and I'm not and I shouldn't judge anybody. It's not my place to judge anybody, but I don't get that. I don't understand it. Let's put it like that. I just don't understand that. Don't understand killing your girlfriend. Yeah, and that's what with that case with them, they were documenting their travels and their trip and putting it on social media. They had their own channels and stuff like that. So, you know. So yeah, I don't know what that whole you know, and any man, any man that puts his hand on a woman is not a man in my opinion. Because I've been dealt with those situations where a woman is being battered, and anytime that I have gone and confronted that person, they got no stones, none. Because they're tough guys with women, they'll beat the crap out of women, but when another man comes up in their face, they got nothing to say. They'll run their mouth in the background, but when you come up in their face, no, they don't. My wife died 16 years ago. I've been on my own now for wow. Yeah, and you know what? I get it. I understand, man. I do. I understand. Um, when you love somebody, when you truly love somebody, and if they pass away or if it's over and they go their separate ways, it doesn't just end and you go on and everything is beautiful. It doesn't work like that. And he might have tried to protect himself and it went wrong. You know what? Um, you look at the size difference of the two of them. There's yeah. I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe that's the case. So, but anyway, again, I don't mean to be doing a blanket statement. Everybody's situation is different, but for me personally, I never could understand how anybody after a long-term relationship, realistically, if you go through a divorce, or whatever you're going through in life, a breakup, whatever, you need time. You need time to heal, because generally, that next person, if you jump into that relationship right away into the next relationship, it never works out because that's a rebound. That's a rebound. So, that it was documented she was being violent towards him. Again, I will say she was what, 5 foot and 100 pounds. So you can fend somebody off. You know, if you have to hold them to stop them from hitting you, you don't have to kill them. That's not, you know, I'm sorry, Randy Romines. I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just, you know, they're, yeah, I don't think, I'm going to, so you want to, we'll do a story time real quick. My first wife was Sicilian. Now, there's a big difference between being Sicilian and being Italian. A big difference, okay? Sicilian women love to fight, absolutely love to fight. Um, and it is known that, and I'm not saying all, please don't put me in that category where I'm saying all, I'm not saying that. A lot of Sicilian men are heavy handed with their women, all right? And a lot of Sicilian women think that that means that they love them. I don't know why that they would think that, but that's the way that they think. Well, my first wife was Sicilian, and I know she wanted me to hit her. I know she did, and I never put my hands on her, not one time, ever. But I will say this: if anybody ever deserved to get smacked around, ever, it was my first wife. Trust me when I say that. If you dealt with the situations that I dealt with her, she I would walk away. I would leave the house. I would get in my car. She would follow me out to the car, put cigarettes out on the windshield, call me all kinds of filthy, disgusting names. I would have to get out of there because I didn't want to hit her and I never was going to hit her. So, you know, if this guy was being attacked by this girl, he had the option to walk away, to leave, to get out of that situation. So, again, I'm sorry. There's no excuse ever, in my personal opinion, you know, to kill somebody, to beat up on women. And I know there's women out there, some pretty good sized girls that beat the crap out of their men. I know that happens. Again, in any situation, if you are a victim of domestic violence from either way, you need to get out of that situation. So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, I never did. I left. That's why I left. I was like, I just had enough, and I never went back. And I said, and I will tell you this: when I left her, I made a promise to myself at that point: no one will ever scream and yell at me like that ever again. And I've never been in that situation ever again. My second wife and I, in 11 years of being together, she really pissed at me, like maybe 3 times in 11 years. I don't want to fight. I would rather sit down and say, let's work it out. What's our issues? What do we got to talk about? That's what I would rather do. But that's just me, I guess. But, you know, and again, who's going to win in that situation? My first wife was, I think, 5'6", about 105 pounds. My second wife was 5'4", and maybe weighed 100 pounds. So it was a very foregone conclusion, and I'm over 200. So who's going to win in that situation? You know, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I don't ever want anybody to ever feel that way. The only people I want to intimidate are the bullies. If you're a bully and you're acting like a jerk, don't do it in front of me. I don't like that. Don't like it. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm not a tough guy. Don't claim to be a tough guy, you know. So there we go. That's where I'm at with that. But anyway, again, you know, I saw the comment earlier. Somebody had said, "Well, I've been subscribed for a long time, and you're fear mongering, so I'm unsubscribing." That's just a troll, guys. That ain't nobody that's been following me for a long time. So anybody that's been following me for a long time knows I don't do fear mongering. So you know, that's just people grandstanding, playing games. You know, that's how that goes. So just you know, only kitty we got in the house right now is Mr. Max. Turning. There he is. But again, then Mr. Max is pretty much always with me. So he is my boy. So they played the 911 call. That guy called and said he hit her. Oh, there you go. But again, it's choices. We all have choices. We can all do what we want. And I know in the heat of anger, things happen, and I get it. I get it. But as a man, and if you're that much bigger, you need to walk away. That's it. That's what you need to do. Because guess what happens? Let's say she pushes, and let's do a scenario. Let's say she pushes, and you finally have had enough, and you smack her. And she calls the cops. guess who's going to jail? It ain't going to be her. It ain't going to be her. And then you have that on your record. So, yeah, maybe he wasn't much of a man. Yeah, but probably not. Probably not. But anyway, that's why self-defense lessons, exactly. I think anybody out there, if you have daughters and you want to make sure that they're safe, you better teach them how to defend themselves, especially against a stronger and bigger opponent. So that's where I stand on that one. So really quickly, I want to do some shout outs. Actually, while I do the shout outs, let's do another thumbs up. We're at 717 in the chat. We're at 554 in a thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing so. I do appreciate that. It also really helps with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. The last thing, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's do some shout outs really quickly, guys. 80K Man's in the house here, so let's give him a shout out really quickly. We also have up in Canada, Icky Can is my boy up there. He's been off grid for quite a while and he's doing really, really well. So I guess you have not seen the women I know. They had to fight you before you went to bed. Oh my God. Come on now, Mark. Be nice. So, anyway, also we have Sean James up in Canada. He has the two channels. We have Sean James and he also has Myself Reliance. Both very good channels and definitely should be supporting both of those. North Shore Preparedness is another channel, obviously, one of my moderators. So let's show her some support as well. We have Alaskan Prepper. We have Canadian Prepper. We have Alaskan Granny. We have Magic Prepper. Marfugal News out on the West Coast. Doug and Stacy is another one. Also, Green Greg's down south. And also, we have Southern Prepper One. I like his channel as well. There's always Suspicious Observer. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Real good channel there as well. And somebody says, I don't care for Alaskan Prepper. I don't know why. Again, individual choices, guys. You don't have to go and follow everybody, everybody that that I recommend. If you like them, watch them. If you don't, then don't watch them. Angry Prepper down in New York City, absolutely. We have Pinball Preparedness would be another one. I already said Doug and Stacy, Nikki. So, but a lot of good channels out there, guys. A lot of good information. We definitely should be supporting each other, and I think that's important to do so. So go to these channels, tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you, show them some support. Adapt 2030, yep, that's another good channel. There's so many out there. A lot of them I like to watch. A lot of them I find a lot of fun. Gray Man Prepping, yep, that's another one that's a really good one. Doug and Stacy haven't been on in over a month. Really? I did not know that. Maybe they got something going on. But again, with the different channels out there, you're looking at different perspective. Everybody looks at everything differently. So Angry Prepper brought me here. Wizard Capo said, well, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. Tell him I said thank you very much. And like I said, I think we should be supporting each other. Absolutely do. I think it's the best way as a community to grow because YouTube definitely plays their games. They definitely shadow ban, especially channels that are involved with prepping and living off grid. Anybody that has an alternative view from the mainstream media, they don't like that. They don't want to, they're not promoting those channels. And so that's why I always say, like I said, we need to be networking, supporting each other. I think it's really, really important. And there's a lot of this happens every day, but never makes the news. It's a distraction. Randy Romine saying, "Oh well, everything that is done with the news is a distraction. Everything. So, it is." Her Doug and Stacy are getting mom situated. Oh, I'm sure they are. If they're getting her settled in, that definitely takes some time. There's no doubt about that. Ice Age Farmer, yep. But he's not on YouTube anymore. I saw that he went to different platforms. And again, guys, people can do whatever they want to do. They can do whatever. Girl in the Woods is another good channel. I like her channel as well. Bush Radical, that's her husband. They both have channels. So I don't think I've mentioned them before, but I like their channels as well. I like how she does stuff, and they're very informative, and I think that's always fun. So, but again, we should be all supporting each other, and I think that that's an important thing to do. So, anyway, moving forward. The mainstream news media is always going. Wrangle Star, yes, I didn't mention Wrangle Star. I apologize. I usually do mention him, and I like his channel as well. Um, he is, or so I've lost my train of thought now. Anything on the news media is a distraction. Always is going to be a distraction because they want to keep you off of what's really going on. There are a lot of things that we should be paying attention to. I will say this again, and I know I've said this before. If I was an enemy of the United States and I wanted to hurt the United States as much as I possibly could, I would do a grid down situation in the middle of winter, January. Do it in January because it's not like you would have, oh, we got a week and the weather's going to get better. You would have months and the weather would still be crap. The highest casualty rate would be grid down situation in the wintertime because people are not prepared. They're not prepared. So that is why I will always encourage all of you not to be victims. Be proactive, help yourselves. That's what's important. Getting things together, being prepared for weather, having enough food and water to survive. You make sure that you are prepared for those situations because if there is a grid down situation in the wintertime, you're not going out gathering wild edibles because there's none out there to get. Whatever food you have is what you're going to have. That's it. That's the reality. And so people really need to learn that. Figure stuff out. Get the books. You know what I mean? Already lived it 1998. Ice storm 27 days, no power in January. 80 came in. I believe it, man. I believe I remember that one. I was actually down south for that one. Hey, Asif, we are running out of Atlantic tropical storm names. Yeah, I mean, they just keep rolling in. You're right. And they'll have to change it up again and do it something different. So, those are things we got to pay attention to. We got to really pay attention. 90% would die in a few months, Gigi says. With inside of a year, I believe, and I'm not making predictions, but just the reality is within a year, 90% of the people in this country would be dead in a grid down situation. I absolutely believe that to be true. You would have so many people, especially if they did it in the winter, if they started in the winter because people are not prepared. How many people, and if you think about it, I want you to think about this, guys. Where you are, how many people, and obviously if you're in the country, it's going to be more, but how many people have a wood stove? And if they have a wood stove, how many people have enough wood to get them through that winter and possibly another winter? How many? Okay. Those are things you need to think about. Also, do you have enough food? Do you have enough water? Do you have a water source a reliable water source that you can use in that situation where you're able to take care of your needs? Do you have ways to purify water? These are all important things, really, really important things, because you never know. You never know. But that's something to think about. And if you don't have a wood stove, how do you plan long term on staying warm wherever you're at? You better have some kind of game plan if you don't have, that, because I'll tell you what, those apartments and those houses, they're going to get cold really, really fast. Yeah, and you can filter snow and you can burn snow, absolutely. But how much wood do you have on hand? Are you prepared to do that? Again, are you going to be outside, having a fire outside, and where are you getting all the wood from? Again, if it's middle of winter and you're not prepared, it's going to be tough. You know, I will sleep with the cats for warmth. That's funny. That's why I got 3 dogs. Like the song says, 3 dog night. Paul a mile in here and have him sleep with me. No, but again, the reality is we need to be ready for whatever's going to happen. And I think that's really important. And I would encourage you all to do that. All of you, I would encourage you to do that. So, that's where I'm at with that. Just continue to press on, continue to get ready. The unknown can be pretty scary, can be really scary. If you're not ready, and again, anything that you do, it puts you at an advantage over so many people, and that's what you want. 1998 ice storm taught me I needed to prepare better. Again, you know what? And I want you to think about that. I want you to, Stephen, you know what, Stephen, send it again because I went back and looked and I did not see that email. So if you would send it again, but I did look the last time we were on here and you said in my email, and I went back and looked and I did not see it. So if you would highlight it, and I'll look for it if you send it again. So anyway, with being ready, it just gives you, like I said, so much more of an advantage over everybody else, and it's just a smart thing to do. So I'm going to always continue to encourage you to do that. Uh, the unknown can be scary and terrifying, but the more ready you are for that unknown, the better advantage you're going to have. You're going to have a better advantage. So I like the new off-grid homestead ad. Well, thank you, Meow Vicious. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's going to take some work down there. It's going to take a lot of work down there. But like I said, we'll work on it as we can, and we'll take care of business. Uh, Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Oh, I wanted to talk about what 80K Man was saying too. And he said the 98 ice storm taught him that he needed to prepare better. Any event that happens, and if it's a short-term event, use it as a learning lesson. That's important because you find out where your strengths are, you find out where your weaknesses are. It is Take advantage of those because that's what they should be. They should be learning lessons because when the real whammy does happen, which I believe is a matter of when, not if, you're going to be that much more ready for it when it does happen. Because the thing is, if that whammy happened and you're like, oh God, I'm weak here and I'm weak here and I'm not prepared for these contingencies, and you've done nothing about it, then you've learned nothing. So, there we go. And that's just kind of where I stand with that one. So let us do this really quickly. I'm going to ask, what do we got? 620 in the chat. We're at 630 and a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get that up to 700 before we jump off here, just for the fun of it, because I like that. Sounds like a nice round number. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. So let's see if we can get that up to 700. And thank you very much ahead of time. Also, again, it does help with algorithms. So I thank you for doing that as well. It pushes us up higher in the rankings. Also, again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications. All right. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. And we're the good Legion, not the bad biblical Legion. So please, no comments on that. Where's everybody from tonight? Now, I did see Melbourne, Australia come in the house. We have middle of the Appalachians, Franklin County, Ohio, Western Maryland. We have Melbourne, Australia again. We have London, Tony Draper, Connecticut, Franklin County, Ohio, Waterloo, New York, Nowhere, Oklahoma, still my favorite name. Leesburg, Florida. Got California's in the house, Princeton, West Virginia, North Central Texas, Endicott, New York, Beech Grove, Indiana, Edgewater, Florida, upstate New York, Houston, Texas, Navajo Nation in Arizona, the UK, Spokane, Washington, Campbell, Missouri, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Virginia Beach, Michigan, Connecticut, Sturgis, love Sturgis. Sorry, I loved it out there. It's awesome. Syracuse, New York. We have Georgia, west coast of Florida, Ulster Park, New York, Beech Grove, Indiana, Connecticut, Utah, Maryland, Joliet, Illinois, Arkansas, Alabama. Let's see, St. Augustine, Texas, Boise, Idaho. We have Virginia's in the house, Kansas, Arkansas, Vancouver, BC, soon to be Verone, BC, Canton, Ohio, Ontario, Canada, Brookings, Southern Oregon coast, the Adirondacks with 80K man. I love that your Bills took care of the Redskins today. Well, they're not the Redskins anymore. Oh my God, racist, racist. Sorry, sorry. Bad, bad. The Washington football team. How stupid is that? Anyway, so you know how I feel about that ridiculous stuff. Um, but they took care of them because I'm a Cowboy fan. And if we take care of Philly on Monday, we'll be in first place all by our lonesome. Let's see. Shreveport, Louisiana. Traverse, Florida. Ohio. Iowa. Eastern Ontario, Canada. Alabama. Ontario, Canada. I don't even watch No Fans Left anymore. Well, it's all right. You don't have to watch. Yeah, they'll always be the Washington Redskins to me. They can change the name all they want, and they're still the Washington Redskins. I thought it was cool. I thought it was very respectful. I didn't think of it as disrespectful at all. So I think it's ridiculous that we are, is a society, pandering to a few people that go absolutely nuts. Did you notice that all NFL crowds are all maskless? Well, of course, because they're all protected. JJ, come on. They're protected. What's wrong with you? They're all safe. Sorry. We got Belgium is in the house. Very nice. Welcome. So, yeah, it's just, I'll tell you what, I just find, Puxatony, Pennsylvania. Puxatony Phil. One of my favorite all time movies, guys, Groundhog Day. Absolutely one of my favorite movies. I think that's an awesome movie. So, yeah. Yeah, and pancake syrup is still Aunt Jemima. You're putting people out of work. It's hard enough for, black folks and Indians to get jobs as it is, and you're taking these jobs away from people. Uncle Ben, where's he going to go now? You can't sell rice anymore. It's so stupid. It's just so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I think it's ridiculous. That's just my opinion. Giving you my opinion. Just giving you my opinion. So, anyway, so fun, fun. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. You're wonderful. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. You are the best. You really are. I want to thank all of you for being in here in these chats. You guys are fantastic as well. We have great chats, and I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So thank you all for being here and showing the support. It really does mean a lot. It does, and with our new adventures and new endeavors down in West Virginia. We will see how that all goes down there, but we're going to just continue to work on things and we'll go from there. And that's a good thing. So, Mr. Clean being named a skinhead. Oh, don't even get me started on all the stupidity that is out there now. Unbelievable stupidity out there. It absolutely drives me completely insane. Um, what are we at 695? So we're gonna 700 is gonna be cake. Let's blow through 700, guys. Let's see how much higher we can get those thumbs up today. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that again. Uh, Cost to re-roof our house jumped up $4,000 in 2 months. So that's the other thing, guys. Remember, the prices of everything are going up, up, and up. So take advantage while you can. Yeah, Cleveland Indians. They're going to be changing their name too, I believe. So I think, and again, it's so stupid. Heaven forbid that you have something like that as a mascot. Oh my God, terrible, terrible. So dumb, so dumb. But anyway, what are you going to do? So Aunt Jemima family was PO'd about the her pick being removed. First black female millionaire. Yeah, she made a fortune off of that when she should have. Why not? She was the showpiece of that. I mean, it was just, and you know why? It was wholesome. Uncle Ben's rice, wholesome. Now they got to take the picture off because there might be 12 people that are offended. Tough. Too bad for them. So, like I said, I'll be here all night if you get me started. But anyway, I want to remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. And as soon as we can figure that out, we're going to be in so much better shape, really be in much better shape. We have to stop letting them manipulate us over race, religion, political affiliation, the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. I mean, it's absolutely gotten to a point of being ridiculous. And I cannot believe people continue to buy into this nonsense. They just continue to buy into it. You know, I hate you because you're a different color. I hate you because you're a different religion. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Let's stand together. When we stand together, there's strength in numbers, and there's nothing they could do to stop us then. There would be nothing. Also, remember, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. So we really need to do that. Really do. Yeah, KFC is a white guy. Why not remove that? Exactly. It's dumb. It's just stupidity, and it's giving in to a minute group of people that are offended by everything. That are offended by everything. Again, my thing is this: if you're offended by anything that I say or do, that's your problem. I am not changing. I'm not, you know, catering to trying to make people happy. What you see is what you get. If you don't like it, too bad. Oh my God, we got all these things. What if she came at him with a weapon? Okay, Mark Leonard, you want a story? My first wife came at me with a butcher knife. True story. Came at me with a butcher knife because I was leaving. I said, I'm done. I'm out of here. I had met somebody else and I said, I'm out. She came in at me and she came at me with a butcher knife. I went into a stance and I said, bring it on. And she knew I was serious. I would have not killed her. I would have disarmed her, but I was not going to let her cut me up either. So again, being a man and being bigger and being able to handle a situation and knowing how to handle a situation, you do what you have to do. So if she came at him with a weapon, he didn't have to kill her. He could have disarmed her. That's my opinion. You can think whatever you want. And again, if it was self-defense, let's just put this out there. If this is self-defense, why did he dump her out into the desert someplace and then run home? Think about that. Let's think about that. If it was self-defense and he had wounds where she had attacked him, he would have called the police. He would have said, hey, this woman attacked me and I defended myself and I killed her. You know, it was self-defense. So there you go. So let's look at it like that. Okay. So that's just my opinion. Just sticking with that. So anyway, guys, I'm out of here for now. I will see you all later. Thank you all for being here. Um, so there we are. That's like I said. I'm just giving you my opinion. You think whatever you want. If you think he's a victim, but he's alive and she's dead. So there's, we'll never. There's only two people that know that story, and one of those two people are dead. So there we are. All right. So she was found in Wyoming, not a desert. Wherever he dumped her, and then he went back to Florida. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. We the people, don't forget to buy some silver. Prices are very low. Great chat, PN1. Yes, definitely encourage people to buy silver. Never buy gold, buy silver. Absolutely. I definitely recommend that as well. Once you have other things taken care of, make sure you have other things taken care of. Thank you for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.